All right, guys, let's check out one of the new Seiko releases. This is the spb239er using the caliber 6R35, retail price $1,200. Try your best to get a little discount on that. I'm sure you'll be able to get something. This was sent in by Exquisite Timepieces from my buddy Nick over there. I'll put a link down in the description of how to get a hold of them and tell them I sent you. Maybe you can get a deal or something. That's between you and them. Figure it out. So let's just get right into this. This thing is awesome. I know this is going to work for so many people at a much more affordable proposition than, say, a mid to entry or to higher end luxury watch. This one kind of has a lot of the same type of things going on for it, but at a much affordable price when you really think about it. So case size depends on where you measure it, guys. Like if I go offset of the crown just a little bit, it's like a 40.5. But if I measure like from here to here, which some brands will do, it's like 41. So, but the way Seiko is, they kind of wear a little bit smaller. I would say this definitely wears more like a 40.5 millimeter watch. The lug to lug is a 47.5. You can see drilled lugs. You have a 6.5 millimeter screw down crown for the 200 meter water resist. The thickness, including the slightly boxed, very slightly boxed and domed. It's a single dome sapphire crystal with AR coating on the underside. The thickness is 13.5 millimeter, matching a lot of other Seiko divers are in that 13.5 millimeter thickness range. The lug width here is 20 millimeter. And if I had a bracelet, it would taper down, but this one comes on a fabric strap, which is very high quality. We'll do some close-ups on that. It's a little bit thicker, but it's extremely well made. So if you like fabric straps, you're going to like these. And it comes with 2. And in this configuration is 103 grams. So with the 6R35 movement, you unscrew the crown here. You get a nice little pop. First position, you'd be able to change the date. And then all the way out, you're going to hack the movement and adjust your time. Very simple, easy to use operation. Go ahead and push it back in when you're screwing it in. I highly recommend back spinning the crown as you're pushing in until you feel that drop into its thread, and then as you're pushing in, go ahead and thread the crown in. You're never going to damage any threads doing it that way. That's a good, clean, proper habit to adopt into the watch game. So you have a 120 click bezel on this. Very satisfying. Nice resistance to it. I wouldn't call it play so much as like you settle it into position, but there's no like movement in the bezel. And this one lines up, which is nice to have things line up. It might be slightly to the right, but it's really close, guys. But there's a riyadh in this instead of a printed on chapter ring. So the index and the minute markers are all printed right on the dial. So really the only thing they have to line up is the bezel and make sure the dial's not messed up. So quality control should be higher on this and a couple of the others, I believe, just because the way they're put together, it's it's going to lend itself to be a little bit better. So if we do a close-up on this bad boy, I think you can see you have a polished brush combination on the handset there. That's going to help with light refraction. And then you have a full polished framed index setup with a ton of like cream colored lume pushed in there. We'll see what color it glows. Can never predict this stuff. I should know this by now, but on a lot of these newer Seikos are doing like this, not quite blue, not quite green. It's kind of like a bluish green, and I really like it. So this one might have that. But you can see you have, I believe, a ceramic bezel insert. If it's not ceramic, it's going to be a coated stainless steel. I'll see if I can find that information. If you know 100%, comment down below. But if you're guessing like I am, don't. Just only comment if you're 100% sure. I couldn't really find that information easily. So, but I like the colors, the nice warm tones of this. And oddly enough, they didn't go with a gilded handset and framed in indexes. So they pulled it off with a polished brush setup and then the warm tones of the dial, which is, the dial is kind of like a, I'm going to kind of say the same thing as the other one in the background. I'll show you that one on a separate video, but it's not black and it's not gray. It's they pulled off a look of like a faded black. And I think that's probably the best way to explain it. They really captured the faux patina style of it. You have nice deep brushing on the side, and then a nice clean line for polishing to break that up, and then you have the polished coin edge bezel on this guy. Very well done. And there's a close-up of the fabric strap. So you have a good floating keeper here, and then you have a captured one. But if you look at the fabric on this thing, it is just well done and well stitched. Everything's good about it. Although it's thicker, it's still very pliable, very comfortable. I'll go ahead and pop it on my 7.25 inch wrist. Sorry, I don't know what the centimeter conversion is. I should probably memorize that for my non-US folk that like to have more accurate measurements. I always struggle with these fabric straps, guys, and this one is no exception. Because it is thicker, it's harder to get that tuck back in there. So I would have preferred this to just be, honestly, like a shorter strap, like a Havaston or something. But here it is on my 7 1/4, and maybe you wouldn't wear it this way, but this is how I put it on. But it does add to the thickness because it's double layered up in there, but definitely comfortable on wrist. Keeps it off the wrist, so maybe that's, you know, what most people are trying to achieve potentially. So, but there it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. I would rather have it on a bracelet, or maybe like some sort of Milanese or shark mesh or something like that. Or heck, you know what this would look really good on? Oh, man, I probably have one laying around here. See, this isn't my watch, and it's a brand new watch, so I don't really want to go poking and prodding with it. But this thing on a really nice brown leather strap would be sweet. A custom, nice, well-made brown leather strap, I think, would be awesome on this. So here it is next to the Seiko SKX. And you can really see how the warm tones on this play versus the bright colors of that. And here it is next to, what is this one? I think this is the 237, which I'll do a video on this one as well, but the Willard design. These kind of complement one another. This one doesn't have all the browns and stuff. It's more of just a faded black, more traditional faded black. But you could easily own both these. These would coexist in your collection easily if you're a Seiko-holic. You would pretty much want both of these, I think. It also comes with this colored strap, which again would bring out the warmer tones instead of the darker tones. So if you put that strap on there, that would be pretty killer as well. What are we talking about? Let's put this strap on there. What are we talking about? That takes 2 seconds, right? Let's get that on there so you can see that. Oh, there's like that little tsunami wave stitched on the bottom side of that too. They did a really good job with these fabric straps, no doubt about it. You know, they fit good in between the case and the spring bar. There's no problems there. Fishing it through. So there it is on the lighter. I mean, that's what I love about fabric straps, even though I don't wear them. Look how, like, within 20 seconds, I just dynamically changed the overall look of the watch. This now matches more of the cream colored on the loom on the hands and the indexes. Yeah. You don't need to change your watch. You just need to change your strap. All right, let's kill the lights. Check the loom on this bad boy. Yep, there it is. That's that bluish green that I was talking about. I don't know how they pull it off. It looks great. I really like some of these newer Seiko models, guys. Every once in a while, like, we get kind of like slightly burned out of Seiko. I'm there with you guys. But then they just drop like a bunch of really cool watches and they just kind of draw you right back in. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next vid.